What's up guys, Cosplay Evo here. Today we're making Deku'S mask from My Hero. I finished season 7 a while ago. It's kind of sad to lift from the cliffhanger, but not gonna go too much detail, but like it's kind of brought back some of all the My Hero things I like, so brought back a little bit, and I kind of want to do a prop from it. And also, I never really showed my cosplays on Midoriya and Red Riot on here. So I'll throw up a couple pictures here and there. That's what I did. And also may or may not be working on a Deku cosplay for the near future. But anyways, I'm gonna use this template I got from Lawrence Iwood. I have it on here. And I'm probably wondering what's behind here. This is Bristol board. Or you can use poster board, whatever kind of is cheaper for you. I used to use Bristol board, spray adhesive. Now I did make a video on this a while ago. It was for the foam smithing part 4, I believe, but that one covers the whole build, full techniques of it. I'm not going to go too much on detail on this build about the cutting and stuff because that's in this foam smithing. Now I'm probably going to recreate all those series, or just leave it as is because I don't know, I kind of gave up on that. But anyways, do that. But we'll try to make 3 different versions of these, and you never know. If you like them, I might start an Etsy where you can buy them. Probably have a certain amount of each one. You can see the different ones in the future. But anyways, enough talking. Let's get on to the making of this. Also forgot to mention, I'm using a bunch of scraps. So I made this so many times that I can easily just I know what to do basically. But if you want an in-depth video, watch my foam smithing. Or actually go watch Lawrence Iwood's video on how he made the full mask. He explains it's his pattern, his design and stuff, so I might as well go check it out. But black is 10 mil. I believe this white is 3 mil. Oh no, this white is 5 millimeter. And I have this scrap of 4 millimeter. Hopefully I can use this. And then I have this big scrap of 6. Now the actual pattern, you use 6, 4, and 10, but you can obviously get away with 5 and 10. So yeah. Now let's continue. Alright, you already know. Patterns, sharpened blade, use scissors if you want. I'm going to try to use a X-Acto knife. If not, I'm going to go use scissors. So yeah, let's get to it. A little trick I like to do if I'm cutting round stuff with scissors is square it off wherever the curve is at. That way I can always come back with the X-Acto knife, or in this case scissors, to fix up that corner. So as you see right here on this top corner, since it's squared off, I can come back very slowly, cut it out, and you have perfect round thing, perfect round edge. So I'm gonna fix this up, and we'll move on. All right, so we have all of our patterns here, and thankfully, Lawrence Iwood had a little diagram here for each steps, or which step is which. But again, I made this pattern so many times, I already know what I'm doing. Also, I labeled some of these with some arrows right there, just a mental note about bevels, because they do have it on the pattern, on the outskirts. But, it doesn't hurt to make a mental note. And I know what you're saying. There's some bevel here, or some notch marks that can line up. I don't really need it. But anyways, and you're also wondering, how do I get those perfect circles? They are perfect, not going. Those perfect circles with the X-Acto knife. I hate to break it to you, I didn't use an X-Acto knife. I use a Cost Tools circle cutter. There's a piece of paper here still. But unfortunately, Cost Tools did not make this. You could probably get away with copper pipe. Copper pipe to sharpen it. Or, just cutting out with a regular X-Acto knife. And just, when it's time to cut out, because the pattern for the circles don't really need to be perfect. At the end of the day, if you have something more round you're going to use for your foam, best not to worry about on the pattern, but whatever you got works, it works. So let's transfer some of these to foam and start building this thing. Alright, so I got all my patterns cut out here, they're all everywhere, but I'm going to cut them out. But first I want to talk about, hopefully you can see this a bit, maximizing your foam usage. As you can see, I only was able to fit 3 on here, but I flipped it over and switched it over Now I got 4 out of these. So if you have two-sided kind of foam, well, if you have a foam roll, you don't have to deal with this, but if you're using like, you know, floor mount, whereas one side's smooth, one side's textured, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. But anyways, maximize your foam uses the best you can. That way you get the most out of your foam without wasting so much. With all the patterns cut out, obviously you should cut out the circles, that's about it. But these trim parts were a little tricky, I would say, because you gotta get the rounded area. But if you don't want to cut out these rounded areas, you can always cut it out in a square and get a Dremel, which I'm going to show you a little bit later, just to round these out. So it makes it a little bit better than just using your standard old X-Acto knife. So let me cut out these circles and we'll get back from there. If you have these circle colors, save these little foam circles, because it will save you from any circular details you want to do. You can make them as rivets, other miscellaneous details, any round details. Use these foam circles from that, and I have a bag of them I need to find so I can put these in there. But anyways, let's continue. Now, my ego did get the best of me with making these things, but you know, I've done it so many times, I thought I knew what I was doing, but hey, you live and you learn. But now I know. But when I was cutting the pattern, make sure you're flipping your patterns. I was just doing this and flipping it over and, you know, beveling, but that ended up, once again, pieces. That ended up, since I did my pieces like this, like that, say this is the pattern, and I cut the bevel that way, and I cut the bevel in way. That's made a little error in some of the patterns here, where this side will be a little bit bigger than here, so they don't technically meet up, but you can always sand it down, bevel it even more, but that's what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sand it down. You know what, fixing my mistakes so you guys don't have to. And also, when you are using a Dremel tool, or some kind of power tool that requires sanding, make sure you use a mask, use some safety glasses too, because I have had so many incidents where I'm sanding, not wearing eye protection, but I am wearing a mask, that will shoot somewhere. Thankfully, nothing bad has happened yet. I'm not trying to do that, and I'm trying to set a good example for you guys. Wear some eye protection, or a mask. And also, when you're using a mask, when you're wearing a mask, actually I don't have any on hand, don't use your nice respirator, it will clog up the filters. I haven't changed them yet, but I will in the future if I keep using this. But get some disposable dust masks, it'll work wonders. It'll work way better than this. Anyways, let's get it plugged in, start sanding. Now, when using any rotary tool or sanding material, go within the rotation of where the bit is going, because if you don't, then you might get some bumps and stuff, some imperfections, then you have to sand more down. And if you sand more down, then you at that point make a new piece. But to glue all this, we are going to be using contact cement. If you use the little can ones that I got, mine was a little thin, I suggest shake it up. Well, all contact cement, you shake it up. But after you glue all this, in the future, or right now actually, you can reinforce the inside with some hot glue. But I'm going to put a piece of fabric in the back, so I'm just going to wait on that. And to glue on these side pieces, I decided to use super glue. You can use hot glue or contact cement, whatever one. But I just had super glue in my soy. Now, if some of your projects or builds, if you're doing the same thing, might peel, or like you see the contact cement, it's either you didn't heat your project enough and this foam was too strong for the contact to hold, or you didn't let your contact cement fully dry, like I did. A little impatient, but you know, this is a live and you learn kind of situation. But at least I have one good one, one decent one, and one semi-okay one. I don't know, but I got them all done. I'm gonna glue on the side pieces, but I'm gonna leave some of these on the side pieces, if you catch my drift. But anyways, let's get to it. Just fix those side. And we got the side pieces, and if you cut them out like square or something, you can come back with a Dremel and round off those corners. Or if your cuts didn't come out that cleanly, smooth it out, clean up the edges. And as you can see, this is how the side pieces are going to stack up. This 10mm thick EVA high density foam, kind of a nightmare to work. The back parts, I didn't really care about rounding it out. It's all going to be behind, so you're not going to see it, especially if you're going to wear it on your face or wear it on your neck. But after you get these glued down, I suggest sanding them with a Dremel, or if you have a belt sander, use that. That'd be perfect actually, because these are some straight edges. Maybe in the near future, I kind of want to bevel the ends so it flares out, but I don't know. It's something in the future for me. After all this, you should be ready for some paint. Alright, sorry about the noisy background if you can hear it. Hit these two with the plastic. This one's the one I'm going to make metallic, like a real shiny steel. This one's going to make spray painted rattle can. This is all going to be rattle can silver. See the difference between those two. This one was just hit with straight just Krylon satin black. Should use matte black, but I use satin. As you can see, difference. This is plastic dip, spray painted. Can't notice too much of a difference. That's because I heat sealed it both, so it kind of gave it the same texture. But I still have a little bit of plastic dip. Gonna do this, then I'm gonna do more to this one. This one probably gonna get the same treatment as that one, but this time it's a little bit more masking and stuff. This one more coat. I mean, honestly, this is good for now. I'm gonna do one more coat at least, and that one should be done. Alright, so it's the next day currently, and this is the one that has been just spray painted. As you can see, it's not that bad actually. It'll be better if you know plastic dip, also black. But we're gonna keep this black for now. I need to add another detail panel right here, or I might just paint something over it. But you can definitely tell between spray paint and plastic dip with the texture. This one's a little more rough since it was spray painted. These ones been hit with the plastic dip and a clear coat. But I'm not sure you can tell. There's a clear difference on how the clear coat I used, well, how much layers I used. So this one I did take my time, so there's like no drips or runs. This is a nice glossy finish on this one. This one I did 2 dust coats and then 2 wet coats. And this one is just 2 dust coats and 1 coat. And you're probably wondering why I didn't mask these. I got lazy, but anyways, it'll be a lot easier for me to kind of dust these, paint these with acrylics. But I kind of need to, all it needs, metallic spray paint, and I'm gonna use my same spray paint I used. I'm gonna use the same spray paint I used for my Megatron build, this Fusion metallic silver, if it'll focus. This metallic silver from Krylon, works wonders, dust coats. This one's gonna get a special treatment soon. But, you know, let's hit this with some silver spray paint. Now for this all black one, I am gonna mask off a little bit off this bottom part. And this piece, there's some little trim decorative piece. I have cut out a foam just to make it a little bit more 3D-like. And you can either, you know, just paint over it, or you can do a score line, make it like a panel. I want you to do a 3-dimensional line so it looks a little bit better. But yeah, let's get to masking and painting this thing. Got it somewhat masked off, just this bottom part. Now, it's not fully masked off because I kind of trust myself with the paintbrush. I keep a steady hand. But yeah, that's it. Using this Plat Effects Emerald. Hopefully it's still good. I had this for years, but hasn't been opened. I have tape on it because the lid broke because it fell a while ago. Oh, perfect. Still intact, so I'll start painting. Now, when painting, I suggest, you know, going slow and steady, and make sure you're going in one direction. That way you don't get any streaks or any weird markings with the paint. If you go in the same direction, all look one uniform kind of color. Thankfully, this Plat Effects paint really covered everything in one go, but I did obviously go for second coats. Anything I got over, I covered it with black acrylic or with a black Sharpie marker. Alright, so now we got our very shiny gloss black Midoriya mask. Now, instead of using metallic silver, I wanted to get something like this mirror, foil chrome mirror finish thingy. I want to get it like this kind of metal, a little darker though. But if you guys watch the Zuko, cosplay, kind of making the swords, this is graphite powder. That's how we're gonna get that shine. And you need a gloss black on this thing so it can come out the best it can. Now I could use more coats of gloss, but I decided not to. This is good enough. This is actually better than what I thought. But anyways, get a cotton ball. You don't need too much. Just dab it. I like to use paper towel or something. All we're gonna do is just dab in some areas, and then we're gonna start to go in circles to buff that area so we get that mirror finish. As you can see, it's kind of work already. Now this is the metallic silver. This is the gloss black. I'm not sure if you can tell there's a difference. But we're gonna start. Since this is a smaller project than the Zuko swords, I don't need too much of this stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, if you're doing this, wear gloves, because this thing does tend to get on your fingers and stain a little bit. I mean, you can get it off, but it's just, recommended to wear some gloves. Now, probably thinking to yourself, it's done. You can touch it now. No, you cannot. You can still get fingerprints. You'll still get some other kind of stuff. I like to do is grab a nice other cotton ball, kind of get all that dusting out. If you want, get an air compressor, some kind of like blower, kind of just blow the excess stuff out. To get all the last remnants of it. Now it's gonna take some time for it to stop, getting on your fingers, but after that, I believe you're able to hit it with a clear coat. I'm not gonna hit it with another clear coat because I like the shine here. My friend actually, Raven's Prop Shop, he did his Bucky arm and he covered it with this stuff, and he actually got it with a clear coat. So you can use it. I just heard that it's hard to do it, but as you can see, it's chrome finish. This one's actually ready now. All right, now I can show you guys a little bit of the difference between just a metallic silver spray paint versus the graphite powder. Now it's up to you which ones you like. It's a little bit more black, but you need some good lighting to see the difference. One of them looks a little bit more metal, one just looks like straight from the anime. It's up to you though. This one's basically done. I just have to paint this with some acrylic, which I was gonna do anyways, because I kind of forgot to mask those off, or I got lazy to mask them off. Anyways, we're gonna grab this tape. I also gotta touch up that edge part a bit. And there we go, we have some of these pieces. Now all I do is paint these side piece details black, get the elastic on there. This one is done. And this one, glue on the little panel pieces, and then the back pieces, and should be done. I want to do a little bit step further, so you can find my hot glue gun. I'm gonna get some fabric, so cover these holes up. Now we can actually use this as like a mask when I'm sanding or something. So yeah, let's get to it. Here's how the mask is looking. I cleaned up some of the edges because they kind of bleed through, but I did it with black acrylic, and this is it. Basically, like 80% or 90% done. All you need to do is add fabric and the elastic strap for this one. Now this is what a completed Midoriya, well, not complete, it's like 99%, so you add the strap, but this, I did put some fabric in the back of it. It's kind of like a compression sports jersey thing that I grew out of, but I'm basically taking some of the black fabric, putting it in here so, dust doesn't get in there. So I can actually use this as an actual dust mask. I got two masks done, this one's a little bit bigger, but it fits well. This one's a little tighter. I will measure it later on in the future. This is how it looks. This is the stealth suit one. This one's just the regular old one. Tight. I like the tighter fit a little bit more. Gory mask. Let's glue on the last one. This one will do a little bit more extra detail to it. If you're doing this, I suggest getting a thicker one. I forgot what the sizing for it is, but it's a thicker one. You get a Hobby Lobby, which I think is a little bit better. But if you are using this thin one, it's a little easier because I'm kind of using this middle line right here. That's where I'm gluing it. And I have this from an old Midoriya costume that I have done, but I never use this. I made my own mask. But this one is garbage. But what I'm doing was take the back hood piece off and put it onto here, so you know it looks even cooler. I don't have a stitch ripper. Oh, never mind. You just pull it off. No scissors. Okay, cool. Or a seam ripper, whatever it's called. Now 2 points here, or I can glue the mask too. And there we go. We got Midoriya's mask with this little hood piece on. Here we go. We tie the neck. Now I need to give it a little bit more elastic because it's a little bit on my neck. I kind of want to sit a little bit more down. Oh, we have the hood piece on, and it's cool about this piece since I have the hood. Just strap here real quick. I could put the hood on too. Now there are supposed to be eye holes right here. I mean, I could cut them out, but they were like steamed on there or like whatever. They weren't stitched. They were easily able to take off. But there were little eye holes there I could cut out, but I have this Midoriya back piece. And we're basically done. We're done with all the masks. Now, in this video we made a metal one. Well, kind of metal. We used graphite powder in this one, metallic silver and acrylic paints for this one, and we did the stealth suit one, which I'm very proud of. So I know my posting schedule has been off recently, but you know what? I'm gonna, try to at least consistently post more, especially if I have a new cosplay on the way. Hint, hint. But anyways, hope you guys like this video. Comment, like, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.